This is Adda 24/7, the special YouTube series of your LRB subject in the English medium language. So guys, I think 12 November is your exam date of your LRB and there is so much less time, okay? So if you candidates are new in this session, so first of all, firstly you have to subscribe our channel, because once you subscribe the channel, whatever the question that we are doing in the YouTube session now, these questions are really very helpful for your examination point of view. Why I am saying? Because these questions are, you can say we always do the recollected questions, we always do the segment wise questions, the module wise questions. So that's why this session is very important. In the paid batch your concept is clear, but in the in the YouTube session we are just doing the paid question, we are just doing the module wise question. So that's why this is very much important. So class, till I think 11 of October, we have done the act wise question, okay, and we have just finished the act wise question. So now from today we are going to start a jumble series, and that is very much important from the examination point of view. Okay, so let's start with the question and answer series. Done. Now the first one is, and this is a 3000 MCQ batch. So if you want to enroll in this batch, so simply you have to use the code Y391 and you can easily get this batch. Okay, now let's start with the question and answer series. Number one question of your LRB, that section 31 of your negotiable act, that is the banker's obligation to make the payment of check, applies to what? To whom? Whether it is customer only, bank only, bank and customer both, and neither bank nor customer. Section 31 of NI Act, the banker's obligation to make of check applies to what? This is very simple question and you have to give me the exact answer. Yes. What is the exact answer? Yes, class. What is the exact answer of this one? Section 31. Okay, you don't have to remember the section 31, but the written, the banker's obligation to make payment of check applies to, that is but obvious, applies to only and only bank. Okay, because bank is the only authority, bank is the drawee, and they have to pay the payment to the customer. So bank is the right answer. Okay. C class, in the LRB, mostly 3 to 5 questions generally come from the section base. So that's why no need to focus on the section base, because many questions, many candidates just text me that, ma'am, please show us the important sections of all the acts of LRA, but no need to this mug up these things. Okay, next. Under Section 31 of the Negotiable Instrument Act, the banker is under obligation to pay when duly required to do so, which means that check should be properly drawn only, check should be signed by the drawer only, check can be signed by the agent of drawer only, or any of the above. What is exact answer of second one? The banker is under obligation to pay when duly required to do so. It means, what is the essential requirement that is filled up by the customer so that the bank have to pay money. So there are four options. Check should be properly drawn only, check should be signed by the drawer only, the check can be signed by agent of the drawer only, or any of the above. Which of the following is the right one? Second one. Check should be properly drawn only, check should be signed by the drawer, check can be signed by the agent of the drawer. That exactly, because if the drawer have authorized the agent Why the C is right one? You know the A, B is right, but why C right one? Suppose if the principal, that is the drawer, have given authority to the agent that you can do work on the behalf of mine. So in that case, the agent sign is also, whatever the work that is done by agent, it will be assumed that the work is done by this one. Okay, so that's why second one, D, is the right answer. Okay, that's cool. Next, if a bank refuses to make payment of check wrongfully, the bank is liable to compensate the dash in case he suffer any loss, whether it is holder, payee, endorsee, and drawer. The bank refuses to make payment of check wrongfully, the bank is liable to compensate the what authority? In case he suffer any loss. So who will suffer? The bank is refusing to make the payment. The bank. Okay. So in that case, class, that is so simple. The drawer, because that drawer who makes the check. So the bank is liable to compensate the drawer in case he suffer any loss. So for the third one, D is the right answer. Okay, D is the right answer. Next, if bank makes payment of a check disregarding crossing by the drawer, the bank is liable to. Crossing means, in the check when we just draw the two transfer line, that is called crossing. So if the bank makes payment of a check disregarding, it means the bank is not following the rules which is done by the drawer. The bank is liable to true owner only, payee only, endorsee only, or drawer only. Bank. What is the exact answer of this one? What is the exact answer of this one? So if the bank makes the payment of a check disregarding the crossing of the drawer, the bank is liable to the true owner of the check only. So A is the right answer. Okay, because it may be the drawer, but drawer, it is not clear whether it is agent, whether it is principal. So that's why the true owner, it means that the payment is on the behalf of that person. So that's why fourth one, A, is the right answer. Okay, next. Section 10. In the Negotiable Instrument Act, we have read promissory note, we have read bill of exchange, we have read the check, holder, and holder in due course, right? Holder in due course. So tell me, section 10 of the Negotiable Instrument Act deal with which of the following aspect? Obligation of a bank to make payment of check, payment in due course, protection to the paying bank for making payment of a bearer, and protection to collecting bank for the collection of a customer. So in this case, you have to just tell me section 10, and there is a two word which is written. The first is your paying bank. So I'm just going to explain first of all the difference between the paying bank and the collecting bank. Okay, collecting bank. See, suppose X person is there and there is a Y person. Okay, so X person just give the check to the Y person of 10 lakh rupees. Now Y collect the 10 lakh rupees check. Okay, now Y will, suppose the X check belongs to the SDFC and Y check belong to the ICIC bank. Okay, now the Y will take the check of SDFC and he will submit in the collecting bank, because why have a account in the collecting bank? Suppose this is the ICICI bank. Okay, collecting bank, suppose this is the ICICI bank, and paying bank, suppose this is the SDFC bank. Okay, so when collecting bank will collect the check, now this collecting bank will demand the money from the SDFC bank, because the check is of X person, so that's why this collecting bank will demand the rupees of 10 lakh rupees. So the paying bank will give 10 lakh rupees to the collecting bank. So that's why collecting banks means to collect the money, and paying bank, that he is paying the money. Okay, so in that way, the X bank is called as the paying bank because they have to pay, and Y bank is known as the collecting bank. So this is a very important terms. Okay, so section 10 is basically the payment in due course. This is the right answer. And payment in due course in good faith without any negligence. So fifth one, B, is the right answer. Okay, so hope so these two terms are clear to all of you. Next, to treat a payment as a payment in due course, which of the following condition need not be satisfied? Need not be satisfied. The payment as per apparent tenor of the check, in good faith without negligence, payment must be made to customer, and payment to a person in possession of the instrument. Which of the following is the right one? Tell me. This question is also belong to the condition, that is uh, payment in due course. Sixth one, payment as per the apparent tenor. This word was written in section 10 of the Negotiable Instrument Act. Next, in good faith and without negligence. This is also right. Payment must be made to a customer, and the payment to the person in possession. This is the right. So these three terms are written in the section 10 of the negotiable. So that's why the C is the right answer. That need not to be satisfied. Okay, so the C will be the right answer. Next, if a signature of a drawer are forged, okay, signature of the drawer is forged on a check and similar to the signatures on record, so what the bank will do? The bank cannot debit the account of the customer, and if the account is debited, bank is liable. Second, the bank cannot debit the account, but if the forgery is in the knowledge of customer, bank is not liable. C, the bank is liable for forgery even if the payment of the check has not been made. D, the bank is not liable if the forgery is done in convenience of the drawer. Please read all the statement and then give me the exact answer. Check the signature. Signature of a drawer are forged on a check and similar to the signature on the record. So the simple, if the signature is for the but obvious, the bank cannot debit the account on the customer, and if the account is debited, the bank will be absolutely liable. So A is the right answer. Okay, next, in a joint account of X and Y, okay, this is joint account, a check is presented in clearing and paid letter and paid. Later on it is found that signature of X is genuine but Y is forged. So tell me, A option, the bank cannot debit the account of the customer, hence bank is liable. The bank cannot debit the account, but if the forgery is in the knowledge of customer, bank is not liable. The bank is liable for forgery even if the payment of check has not been made, and the bank is not liable if the forgery is done in the convenience of the drawer. Which of the following is the right one? Tell me. In a joint account X and Y, a check in clearing and paid. Later on, the signature of X is genuine and the Y is forged. So what is the exact answer? Whether the bank cannot debit, bank can debit, and what will be the exact answer? If the joint account is there, so the answer is very simple. The bank cannot debit the account, hence the bank will be liable if they debit. So A is the right answer of this one. Okay, next. A customer lost his checkbook, but he could not inform the bank about loss of checkbook. A customer lost his checkbook, but he could not inform the bank about loss of the checkbook. Now, the customer is negligent and cannot claim damages from the bank if there is a loss to the customer due to the negligence of the bank. If the check leave is misused by the forgery, the bank shall not be liable, and customer should inform the bank as it is his duty, and none of the above. If a customer lost his checkbook but he could not inform the bank about the loss of the checkbook, so what will be the exact answer? Tell me. A customer lost his checkbook but he could not inform the bank about the loss of checkbook. So what will be the right answer? Tell me the ninth answer. These questions are that is totally related to the negotiable instrument, and that act is very, very much important. The act is very much important. So in this one, if the checkbook is lost, first of all, none of the above point will be the right one. The customer is negligent and cannot claim damages from the bank if there is a loss to the customer. If the check is leave misused by forgery, the bank shall not be liable, and the customer should inform. It is not the duty of customer that if any this is lost. Okay, so that's why D is the right answer. Next one. A collecting bank. It's okay, these are the section, okay, but it's do not worry, you only have to remember these things. A collecting bank gets protection for collecting a check subject to the certain condition under section dash of dash act. So see, the collecting bank is there, and I have already told you the exact meaning of the term collecting bank, and then after the paying bank. So what is the exact section? Section 131, 31 of NI of RBI Act, or section 131A of the NI Act? What is the exact answer of 10th one? Tell me the exact answer. So here for the 10th one, the exact answer is, you have to learn this one. Section 131 of the NI Act is the right answer. Okay. Section 131 of the NI Act. So that's why A is the right answer. Next. A collecting bank gets protection for collecting a demand draft subject to the certain condition under dash of dash 131 NI, 31 NI, 31 RBI, or 131 NI. A collecting bank gets protection for collecting a demand draft subject to the certain condition. That is also very, very much important. A collecting bank gets the protection of this one. The exact answer is section 131A of the Negotiable Instrument Act. Okay, so D is the right answer. These are the section based, so you have to learn at least some, some section based questions also. That is, whatever we have done in the paid batch and this one. Okay, class, so that's all for today's class, and this is the live batch of your MCQ series. The LRB part will be start from the 2nd of November 2022. The timing will be 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. So if you people want to enroll in this batch, you have to use the code Y391 for the 78% discount. And this batch include not only the half marks and 1 marks question in the case studies question, but also the recollected questions of the this one. Okay, so that's all for today's class. Now, how to purchase these batch? The process is very, very simple. Okay, so what you have to do, you have to just open the click on this what you have to do, click on this Google. Okay, all courses JAIIB CAIIB, click on English medium. Okay, if you click on this one, you can also purchase the separate batch also. Okay, and if you just purchase this batch now, the one PPP book will be available to you. So click on view offer and then put the coupon code, that is Y391, and click on apply. You can see that is the 77% discount is going on. So 3,679 is the actual price of this batch. So if you want to get enrolled, you have to use the code Y391. Okay, that's all for today's class. We will meet you tomorrow at the same timing and with the different types of question. Thank you so much.